Hi, this is Carol Wisely with Radio Free Decipher on a Monday morning. I'm here with Kendrick Summers, and we're going to be talking about DecipherCon. We missed the broadcast on Friday due to some technical difficulties, and since I'm going to be away at the end of the week, we decided we would do one today. So, hey Kendrick, how are you doing?
Morning, Carol. It was a busy weekend, so a little sleepy Monday morning, but we'll get the ball rolling here after this radio broadcast.
What were you busy with this weekend?
Well, actually participated in the play test at the Product Development House. Things went pretty well on Friday, and then I went to Charlottesville, Virginia on Saturday to see one of the local bands, one of my favorites.
Oh, great. Yeah, I understand they were play testing Death Star 2. That's just a little sneak rumor there.
That's right.
And from what I hear, it went pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to say any more, are you?
Mm-mm.
It's a little early.
Yeah. There's a Death Star in there.
And I guess a couple of characters, and I guess we can guess at least one of them. Yeah. How did your decks work?
Actually, I came to Friday's playtest Friday afternoon with one particular dark deck in mind. It's a variation on a current deck, and it was a lot stronger with some of the new mechanics in there. And ultimately, we had to fix one of the cards in there because there were a bunch of people at the weekend, apparently, that had brought the same deck. So we were all kind of focused in on the same linchpin card, and fortunately we were able to make some changes to that helped the deck, but it's still going to be a strong deck. So I'm excited that is just one of the many decks that looks like it's going to come out of Death Star 2. Should be a great expansion. Cool.
Well, I am excited. It will be with us sometime next year. We're way ahead of ourselves on schedule. I know that. So we don't have a projected date yet, but I know sometime in 2000. It's the expansion of the millennium.
Coming quick.
Great. Well, we're also going to talk quite a lot today about DecipherCon. So give us an update of where you are on the planning of that, Kendrick.
Okay. Well, if you have not been to the website or have dropped off the face of the earth, then DecipherCon is at the Cavalier Resort and Hotel in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And Kyle and I actually went down there last week and took a look at the space that we have available, and they've done some work on the hotel since last year, so there were actually some new things for all you people that will be coming back from last year's World Championships. We've got a lot of space, which means a lot of tournaments, and we've been hammering out an event schedule for this year that we're getting ready to post this week. And I know that you all have seen some stuff up that relates to a tournament schedule, but we've got some even juicier information for you that will get up as soon as possible, and I think we can spend a few minutes talking about some of those formats.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay, well, as Kendrick said, there's a skeleton schedule on the website now, and a lot of people, I think, have mistakenly assumed that's it, but we're building on it all the time. And we put a schedule together last week, or rather Kendrick did, that is now pretty rich, and probably will get even bigger as we get nearer the time and we see how many people are there. Because it's our intention to have probably 10 or 12 events running concurrently the entire weekend, and most of the time through the night as well, covering, of course, all of our games. And although we haven't put that schedule up yet, there'll be a lot of the FASA properties there for both demoing, learning how to play, and competitive events. So there'll be Battletech, and there'll be Shadowrun, and all of the other great FASA properties, and that'll get added fairly soon. We're just waiting for some details from them. So let's start by talking about our very first CCG, Star Trek, which of course is coming up for its 5th anniversary the weekend of DecipherCon. Just about around that time we released the Alpha, the original black-bordered printing, which I think was called Alpha back in November 1994. Mm-hmm. Which sold out within about 3 weeks, I think, and then moved on to a black-bordered beta, which is pretty much what all of us own.
Was the beta actually, it was a white border, right?
No, there's a beta black border, I think, and maybe I'm wrong. It's Monday morning. Okay. All I know is that Alpha black-bordered Star Trek is almost impossible to come by. I do have just a little tiny bit somewhere.
I think I traded some heavy-duty Magic cards for black-bordered Star Trek way back when. My retailer wasn't lucky enough to get the black-bordered stuff. So
right.
Maybe we can pull some of that out of the woodwork somewhere and have some of that at DecipherCon. That might be cool.
We'll have to dig for it. I mean, we really will have to dig. We'll have to lift the floorboards and look underneath.
You don't have any in your magical closet in your office?
You know what? I don't think I do. But I will have a look, hidden amongst the Dagobah and the black-bordered Star Wars and some of the other cool stuff that's in there.
Right.
So let's start with Star Trek, and obviously we have the World Finals, and this will be the third World Final for Star Trek CCG.
It will. The first one being in Huntsville. Went to...
That was a national.
Right, national championship. That was the only championship we had that year. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so 97 was in Las Vegas, 98 was at the Chamberlain, and this year we'll be at the Cavalier.
Yep, absolutely.
We do have a wild card open qualifier on the Thursday before the Star Trek Championships, and that is open to everybody that shows up at the Cavalier. We're expecting a pretty big event on that Thursday, and it begins at 2 p.m. on Thursday, so you'll want to get there early if you're planning on being there Thursday for the open qualifier, and that'll run into the evening, and our what did we decide? The top 2 players from that event, we're going to move on to the World Championships beginning on Friday, so that should be a pretty exciting tournament.
The World Finals, the World Championships themselves start Friday with the normal 8 games, I guess?
That's right. I think it'll actually be a six-game contest, and the top 12 will move on to Saturday's play.
Right.
Yeah. Bruce is helping out with the format for that, and I'm going to let him handle that, but I'm pretty sure it's the same as last year. So 6 games, and the top 12 move on to Saturday's play.
Great, and we're in the middle of regionals, so I know a few of the names that we'll be seeing there, and there's still a few to go.
Yep.
We know David's going to be back, which is cool.
Dave Bowling won was it the Origins tournament that he won way back when?
Yes, he did. Right. I think it was Origins. So what else have we got for Star Trek? I understand there's some neat formats, including something that's connected to the affiliations that runs the entire weekend.
Right. What we want to do is create a tournament environment for the weekend where if you're an exclusive Klingon player, an exclusive Romulan player,
or any other affiliation,
bring your monochrome deck with you to the weekend and compete in several what we're calling affiliation tournaments. The affiliation overall that gets the most points through all the tournaments in the weekend will be awarded a prize, and what that means is that everybody that plays that affiliation through the weekend will win a prize. And we'll have some more information posted about how to register for a particular affiliation or what decks to bring or what decks to build once you get there. But just know that when you compete in this series of tournaments, you'll be competing with one particular affiliation from the Star Trek universe.
Cool. Well, that sounds great. Anything else for Trek that you can think off the top of your head?
Yep, we have a special multiplayer tournament format that we're getting Tim Ellington to bang out for us in between his development of Rules of Acquisition and lots of the other goodies that's on the plate for Star Trek. We'll have the rules for that posted to DecipherCon as well, so know that you and your buddies or people that maybe you've never played with before are going to have the opportunity to sit at a table and compete in a 4 or maybe 6-player game, something along those lines.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. Okay, well, let's move on to Wars, Classic Wars, and obviously, again, the World Finals. There's a wild card event for that?
That's right. There is a wild card on Thursday, and that one begins at 3 p.m., an hour after the Trek one begins. Again, the top 2 finalists will move on to Friday's Day 1 events for the World Championships, and the top 12 players from Friday's event will advance to Saturday's day of final rounds. So if you come on Thursday and you're going to compete in the Wars tournament, then you need to be there early in the afternoon for a 3 o'clock start. We're going to require deck lists and all the rules that normally apply to a sanctioned event, but this one's going to be a biggie. So top 2 players advance to Friday's game.
Great. And we also have a lot of returning players. Some people that maybe missed one year, but I heard Martin Logger won. I know
Congratulations, Martin.
Yeah, Paul Todd Feldman's coming back.
Yep, we'll see him again this year.
Steve Brenson, I think, is coming back.
Yep.
So a number of people are returning. So it's going to be fun.
Did that Tom Lischke guy qualify? Oh, wait, he's working for
us
us
no,
now.
he works for us now. And anyway, he plays experimental decks at World Finals.
Right.
Sorry, Tom.
Yeah.
Couldn't resist. Okay, what else do we have for Classic Wars then that's a little different?
Well, that was a special one for me to work on for DecipherCon because I'm really interested in keeping people busy all weekend. We've got a couple of ancillary products coming out for the Classic game, Enhanced Cloud City, and if you all have been on the lists and hearing the buzz, Enhanced Jabba's Palace as well. I know that a couple of press releases have gone out about that, and the buzz has hit the streets about Mara Jade and a few other surprises that we're going to hold on to for a while. But suffice to say that we will have a few sealed deck environments for both of those products, and let's see, a bunch of constructed deck formats. We want to throw an Iron Man tournament out there for everybody, and that'll be for Trek as well, but I'm looking forward to seeing the Wars format of that. So anyway, Iron Man should be a lot of fun, and those of you who played Magic early on or have been around the convention scene know that Iron Man means if a card is discarded or lost, then you destroy it. So that'll be an interesting format, and whoever has the most robust deck will carry on to win the prize. And we haven't quite figured that one out yet, but it should be a creative one. So that's just one of the many innovative formats that we have for Wars, as well as a bunch of other cool sealed deck formats. And believe me when I say that gameplay will go on into the evening. We did have a question from Radio Free Decipher, and maybe this is an appropriate time to answer that. And I don't remember the gentleman's name who sent it in, but you'll recognize your question when you hear it, and that is gaming going to continue 24 hours? Do we really need to get a hotel room? And the answer to that is a resounding yes. If you are prepared to play 24-hour games, then we've got the schedule for you. And you will definitely need a hotel room to store your clothes and shower, but sleeping is probably not an option. So use the bed for a card table or something, because we will have events around the clock. We'll give you a couple of breaks for food and stuff, but really that's about it. So
yeah, I think you should at least become part of a group room.
Right.
So you can do 24-hour, taking it in turns to shower, watch TV, chill out, build some more decks, and have a rest.
And definitely shower.
Okay, well, now what about our newest game, the new kid on the block, Young Jedi? What can we say about that? Of course, everybody knows that this is the one closest to my heart, and that at some point during the weekend I will leave my duties and play, and probably most of the time, since that's what I did throughout the summer.
Well, last but definitely not least, at least on this schedule, is the Young Jedi collectible card game, and we have actually a World Championship event for Young Jedi as well. That'll be on the Saturday with the Wars and Trek finals, and on Friday we'll be running preliminary tournaments for Young Jedi. We'll hold 4 preliminary tournaments, and the top 8 players from each preliminary tournament will advance to the World Finals. So we'll have 32 players competing in that final event. Now, 2 of the preliminaries on Friday will be sealed deck tournaments, and 2 will be constructed deck tournaments. And check out the web this week for exact times on those tournaments, but we'll stagger them. One constructed, one sealed, another constructed, and another sealed through the day on Friday. So we're looking forward to that. And for DecipherCon, we are going to count on the presence of the Jedi Council in all of the sealed deck events that we'll have. So we should have some interesting formats for sealed deck with Jedi Council, and as you all know, everybody's been waiting on those cards to enrich the tournament environment. So the level of play in tournaments is going to be a little bit up there. So get ready and build some good decks for those preliminaries. So we're going to have some sealed deck environments like progressive, and what that means is at the end of each game in the sealed deck tournament, you will be given more cards to add to the mix. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean more cost. What it just means is that at the end of a game, you get more product, you open it up, and you tune your deck even that much further. So what it does is it makes the top players in the tournament that much more competitive, but it also helps the other players that maybe didn't get good red cards in their original mix, or those players that didn't get starships or transports. They can now mix those in, and it just makes for a little bit of funner environment.
Yeah, I played in one of those recently, and I enjoyed it. And what I will say as advice to people is take the time to look back at the cards you rejected in the first place.
That's good advice.
When you first build your deck, because I did not do enough of that, and I could have ended up with a way better deck and done a lot better if I had. So.
You mean you built your own decks, Carol?
There's guys, you wouldn't hear that because it was off to the side, but Ryan Morris interjected a little comment there. You mean you built your own deck? It's a little bit of a joke here that everybody and his dog likes to contribute to my decks when I play constructed. And actually, out of everybody and his dog, the dog usually makes the best decks. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, so that's Young Jedi, and I know that there's a ton of other stuff on the schedule, because Young Jedi tournaments are quick, and that's what's so nice about them.
That's right. So we'll have a number of Young Jedi events through the weekend, and I just remembered now what I wanted to add to that list, and that was the junior events for Young Jedi. While everything else is going on and there's a really high level of competition, we will offer some junior events for Young Jedi, those players that some of our younger players that are newer to the game that want to get into the tournament experience will have an opportunity to play in a juniors-only environment. We'll run 4 of those through the course of the weekend, and your score will be cumulative through the weekend, which means that the top-rated player, when I say rated, I mean by your scores within those tournaments, at the end of the weekend will get a prize for the best junior of the weekend. So if you're planning on playing Young Jedi and you are a junior, meaning 14 and under, I believe, you can come and compete in these 4 events for a great prize at the end of the weekend. So we're looking forward to seeing all of you out there, and hopefully you will be experts by the end of the weekend and be competing in the big events next year at DecipherCon 2000.
I think we should have a seniors cumulative.
The seniors tour.
Since I've been beaten in most Young Jedi tournaments I've ever played by juniors. So, okay, and then hopefully we'll also be premiering Austin Powers collectible card game.
That's right.
We haven't put any events on the schedule yet. We're not quite sure how close to the release we're going to be, but we'll definitely have those cards for preview, and we'll probably run some really fun events with them as well. Those cards have now gone off for approval, and that game is pretty much wrapped up, and we all love playing it. It's a bit of light-hearted fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a heavy, serious, competitive tournament scene, obviously, but it's great for a quick half an hour's break whenever you need something that's more light-hearted.
The event schedule will continue to develop up to, I would say, a few weeks before DecipherCon, so don't go away from the website for too long, because you'll always see something new.
Well,
including Austin Powers.
Yeah, we're hoping to see as many of you as possible at DecipherCon. You can pre-register on the website, which is a great way of us knowing how many people are coming. It's absolutely no obligation. You don't have to pay anything, but if you pre-register, it gives us a better idea of the numbers, and that helps us plan the events. We've also got a survey on the website, which again is going to help us with the event planning. So any of you who haven't done so, please check out that area on the website. There's a banner on the front page that takes you straight to it. And give us as much feedback as you can so that we can make this first ever DecipherCon a really great event.
That's right.
And that's going to be all for now, folks. I'm just trying to think if there's any particular news for anybody, but I'm pretty sure that we covered everything in last week's bulletin, and we've got pretty much up-to-date information on the web. We still don't have a definite date for Jedi Council. I think it'll either be the 20th or the 27th of October. And as soon as we find out, we'll let you know.
Great. Another piece of news to update the registration on our website. If you haven't been in a while and you were thinking about registering and haven't done so, get on the website and register before October 31st. Everybody pre-registering for the event. We'll also give you a Sebulba foil card from the Menace of Darth Maul for pre-registering, and we'll have that for you there at the show.
Excellent.
Yep.
That's great. Well, then I'll pre-register.
Yeah, me too.
Because I wouldn't get one.
4 or 5 times.
Because I wouldn't get one otherwise. Ignore Kendrick's last comment, folks, because if you pre-register 4 or 5 times, you might not get one at all.
Right.
All right. Well, thanks, folks, for listening, and we'll be back with you next week.